Bring out the panel now. It's Man United fans at the moment because Chelsea fans haven't turned up as of right now. I don't know where they are. We've got Phil with us. We've got Aaron with us. We've got Rhino with us as well. All three are United fans. Welcome back to the show, gents. I'm going to go to Phil first. Another impressive win, really, for Man United today.
Yeah, really good performance. Really impressed from start to finish. We didn't look under too much pressure. We seemed to have control. What I liked was a lot of control around the box. We didn't look like we were panicking in our defending. Some absolute fantastic tackles by Dalot. If it wasn't for Garnacho's goals and performance, I think Dalot would have walked away with player of the match for me, because he made some crucial, not only that one on Bowen, but just made some really good tackles, some good interventions, and played really well and didn't really put a foot wrong, I think. So yeah, overall really impressed. Well taken goal by Højlund, and we could have had 4 or 5. Rashford looking a lot more like himself, apart from obviously his miss, but he's getting the positions now. He's putting the effort in. I think around about the 75th minute, we could have maybe put Garnacho on the left and Diallo on the right or something, give him a bit of a run out, because Rashford was looking tired, but he was putting a lot more sprints in down the side. So we're seeing a lot of that now that Shaw's back as well, with an overlap run. And there was a lot of those balls from Casemiro today where he was whipping it right down the edge of the line and just playing over the top for Garnacho and for Rashford. So yeah, really, really impressive performance overall. Really good result and a clean sheet.
Yeah, Aaron, would you echo that, what Phil has just said? Because, we've struggled for goals recently, but we now seem to be finding our form in that area with, Rasmus really looking like the 60 million pound player we paid for. Yeah,
Rasmus was brilliant today. I said it on the last pod. If you provide for him, he's going to score. And even though he made his own goal, the way he shifted it onto his right foot, he can go either way. Clinical. So we've scored 7 in the last 2. That's 25% of our league tally in the last 2 games. We seem to match Luton. So yeah, when the pressure's on, we seem to deliver.
It is. I mean, we've scored 31 goals all season. And I was looking at a stat the other day, which I thought was crazy. Where is it here? So you're 3 tonight, 4 against Wolves, 2 against Chelsea, and we scored 3 against Villa. So in our last 5 games, that's 7, 8, 9. We've scored over a third of our goals have come in our last 5 games. That just shows where we've really been struggling this year, doesn't it, Rhino? That putting that ball into the back of the net. But it feels with Rasmus's goals, everybody's now becoming a little bit more confident when taking shots.
And this is what I said, Terry, and appreciate you for having me. Big up the panel as well. Listen, I told people about Højlund. What's so annoying about the football fan base is that, they're so reactionary, and some criticism is fair for Højlund, Today he took the goal on his own. We wanted to see more of that. But I feel like fans were being very, very harsh on him, I saw enough in the Arsenal game for me to see the fundamentals of how good he is as a player. So when the narrative started to change into he's a wrestler and all of that, I more saw it as the club's kind of messing up the good fundamentals that he came to the club with. So when he came and he started badding up Gabriel and all of that, no one wanted to say nothing. And then now when he started to kind of fall into a little kind of down form, it's like they want to say, yeah, look, I told you, Højlund. But now look, what's this? 5 goals in 5 games in the Premier League? Yeah, he's part of the build-up play. He's making sure that you can see him and Rashford linking up very well. Garnacho is starting to blossom as well. He's another player that I defended as well, Terry. I said, look, I understand that he's an impact player and we're now starting him. But that's the issue. We're not playing him to his strengths. He's not being managed well. So now we're starting to see that he can start games and he can do well. He had about, 83% passing accuracy today, which shows that he's trying to cross the ball in more. You saw the chance when Rashford was running and he tried to cross it over. You have to give these guys time to gel in. And for me to kind of go back onto this Ten Hag situation, obviously, I was supporting Ten Hag till about November. I started to lose my faith. When we lost 3-0 to Bournemouth, I gave up. I said, you know what? I'm done. This guy needs to do the fundamentals at least. But now we're starting to see a little bit of consistency. I still have a few concerns, but in terms of just talking about Højlund, yeah, I'm happy, man. I'm happy that you're starting to see him grow in his confidence. And he even said it in an interview saying that with the Premier League, he had to adjust his pace and trying to read the game a bit differently. And now you're seeing it. So I'm happy, man. Over the moon.
I totally agree. I mean, I've had people come at me on Twitter saying, Terry, you were one of those people that turned on him. I said, no, I criticised him after the Luton game and after the Wigan game. But you're right. People people were tweeting some weird stuff. They were saying, I don't like how we're praising him for being physical, and that's all he's got. And I sat there and thought, well, no, we're praising the element of his game. So it's nice to have a striker that can be physical. Because even when we had Lukaku, I used to feel for a man his size, he didn't really like the physical battle. And it's good to have someone up front who at times can use that.
Yeah, it's a bit like, it gives me like Pogba vibes, the way he likes to wrestle.
Yeah, he can hold people off, and it's great. And all we were doing was praising that. Now, we all knew the goals had to come, but I felt as though it was right to not go overly in on him because he was scoring in the Champions League. So I knew the goals would come, and then the pressure kind of built up a little bit. When I saw our own fans turn on him rather than support him, when his overall play was good, it made me angry. And I'll tell you why it made me angry. And I know he's the most important element of his job is to score goals. He's a striker. When we have players like Bruno Fernandes, whose basic fundamentals annoy people, but he scores and assists so regularly for us, they say, but what about the performance? Haaland was giving us the performances. The goals just weren't quite there, but they were ignoring all of that and going, but where's the GA? And that's why those people wind me up. There is no consistency to how they criticize. I think it's right to say we need some goals from him, but they're ignoring all the good elements of his game. And that, once he got that goal against Villa, set it on that stream, he will start scoring now. He's on I think 5 goals in the Prem, 11 goals overall. He's also getting so much more involved in the play now. And listen, I'm so glad that I didn't cash in that stock and didn't get dragged down that rabbit hole turning on him, because I thought it was stupid to. And on Garnacho, I want to throw this out to the panel as well. I think the consistency is starting to come in from him now because he's playing on the right. He's better on the right than he is on the left. And me and KJ have been talking about this for months. This obsession managers have with inverting their inside forwards. Play people on their natural side for once. Like, I don't think teams train to play against that anymore because no one does it. Everybody inverts. So therefore, I think it looks much better on that side. Pav, you're with us as well, mate. What did you make of today, and especially the performances from the young men in Rasmus and Garnacho?
First of all, the fact we got a clean sheet is I have to praise him for that, because them not having Ward-Prowse, we all know what he can do with a set piece. And we've been terrible on set pieces, corners, free kicks. You got Onana coming out here clotheslining people like he's, I don't know, like he's a WWE superstar or something, and punching people out. So the fact that we got a clean sheet and we kept them at bay from all their corners and whatnot, free kicks, it's a positive. And Rasmus getting a goal is a positive. I'm one of them people who turned on him after that Wigan game, said that this guy was going to mount to nothing. He started to prove me wrong. He started to do well. I don't know, maybe that first goal has given him a lot of confidence. You can see that he's doing a lot more. And also, we've started to create a few more chances for him now, because that's like one of the biggest downs that we were having for the last few months. There weren't enough chances coming to this guy. And now that the players are doing it a bit more, he's getting more chances, he's taking his chances, and he's created, 2 goals for himself as well. So, big up Højlund. Garnacho, very, very good performance today. Last game that we played during the week, he didn't get the praise that he probably deserved, but yeah, the kids coming through. And talk about Rashford, Mr. Marcus Mandela, the region's coming, innit, after his shenanigans. So yeah, team's performing good. The only thing is, because I was at work, so I wasn't like too focused into the game, because I would have just got told off in it. But I saw the injury to Martinez. What happens if you haven't got Casemiro and Martinez in that team? Because we're playing a lot better with them two, innit?
Yeah.
After all the cussing that people had on Casemiro, saying that we need to sell him to save wages. No. If you take Casemiro out of this team, we play a lot worse.
Of course,
we will play a lot worse.
We don't have a proper DM, and he is key. And look, I got your frustration with Rasmus. You did obviously say you weren't a man to anything. You've had a mare with that one, but but you know, I like the difference with you, Pav, and everyone can have opinions like that. But you're like, no, he's proved me wrong. It's great. There are certain people online that, because they've made a prediction like that, they're going to hate on everything he does now forever. Do you know what I mean? And I've even seen people criticize him today. But yeah, I know his goal was good. Some guy tweeted, I know his goal was good, but why does he always blast these shots? I want a striker that has a bit more finesse. And I sit there and think to myself, the audacity of these clowns.
There's a lot of strikers people like, do you remember Adriano when he was in that Milan and stuff? The power on that guy, he was blast all the shots. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is another one. So like, I don't have a problem with him like putting his boot all the way through the ball. It's just that the fact is, if he's scoring, no one cares. But then people will complain if he's not doing, obviously putting the ball in the net.
Totally agree. Phil, from your point of view with Garnacho, the right-hand side, do you think that's the best place for him?
I think he's. I think one of the problems was we've been trying to fill the left side so much we forgot about the right side. We just assumed it's resolved it by buying Antony. So people weren't really given the chance. And I don't want to go into the big discussion, but you know, Sancho being one of them. So Sancho, Rashford, Garnacho. It's like everyone. We're trying to squeeze everybody onto the left, and we just did. We thought Antony's the answer for the right. Now he's not, and he's accepted that, and Ten Hag's accepted that. My 85 million purchase isn't working out too well. He's willing to give other people a chance. And now Antony getting 2 minutes at the end of a game did all right, you know, in his 2 minutes. Yeah. But Garnacho is starting to find. I don't know if you used to watch Garnacho when he was in the youth team, and I know a lot of the time he played through the middle and on the left, but he did play, I think, in the U Cup final on the right wing when we won it, and he was absolutely fantastic that game, absolutely brilliant. So he's always had it in his locker, but obviously by playing a lot on the left and now in the middle, he's developed his game so much. So playing on the right now, he's able to cut in. The only thing I would say today is at the beginning of the game, maybe even the first 20 minutes, he just seemed to like either wasn't sure of himself or they'd read his movements a lot quicker because he tried quite a few one-on-ones and each time got tackled. But he didn't just keep trying the same trick throughout the game. He changed his game. He started running inside, cutting inside, running with it, passing it, looking for the movements. And so whereas Antony would have just kept trying, Garnacho adapted his game within the game sort of thing, not just game to game. So I think he is such a raw talent, absolutely fantastic. And that image of Mainu, Højlund and Garnacho, where they're all just sat like that, just you know, 18, 19 and 21, something like that. What? Yeah, that's the future. We are building something great, really good.
And I add on something to quickly what you said when you're done anyway. I'm going to add on something to. Oh yeah,
I was just going to say, mate. One of the things I've spotted as the biggest change going forward is that I know Højlund is obviously a little bit more composed on the ball, but he's able to be composed on the ball and lay it off to people. We're getting 2, 3, 4 players in and around him in the box. And I believe that is because that, like last season, we've got a stronger back that we can trust in so we can push forward more. And also we are seeing our wing, like Garnacho and Rashford, tracking back so we're able to get forward, get back, and putting a lot more energy and effort and players around the box. So Højlund's able to lay it off, little 1-2s, make defenders run and not just have a 3-on-1 all the time sort of thing. So, yeah, sorry. What are you saying, Rhino? Sorry, mate.
Yeah, sorry, bro. No, just echoing a lot of what you said. And, like, when we praise these players, like a lot of us are not going to get ahead of the game and say, look, you know what, United are back. But we need to give credit where it's due. When Ten Hag has made so many decisions wrong and he set up the team wrong, we're going to get onto him. So it's the same thing that we have to do when we actually see things go well. And, you know, I'm still going to stick to what I'm saying about Garnacho. He might not be the finished article. Yes, he's still young. And I don't want to even have this whole young conversation. Oh, but what about Mainu? Mainu's young. Different players in different situations. Mainu is just Mainu. Garnacho is somebody that has to be managed in a certain way, and that's just the way it is. And you do get the best out of Garnacho on the right. Yes, there's certain games he's not as consistent. There's certain games that he doesn't make the passes that we want him to make. But at the end of the day, when you have to look at the fundamentals and see the potential, and that's what Ten Hag needs to do more. Play these players in their position, make the right choices, and maybe we can start to have a little bit more faith. And I'll be real, I don't still have faith yet in United because I need to see it more consistent. I still have doubts, you know. I missed a lot of the first half. I was having a little nap and my alarm didn't go off, so I missed it, yeah. But for what I saw with the percentage, the amount of possession that we didn't have and whatever, there's still a few causes for concern. One thing that I can say, though, second half, you saw that the team set up more defensively because they know that this is where they're normally vulnerable. It wasn't great to watch, but at least we're starting to see that they're starting to patch up the problems, and that we have to give credit to that, you know. And then once again, let me just be clear, because people say, "Oh, you lot are gassing up." Listen, we give credit where it's due. Højlund is starting to blossom. Garnacho is better on the right, and he's not the finished article yet. There definitely needs to be a winger ahead of him that he can kind of swap round with as well. But for now, look, we take it, man.
Can I quickly touch on Mainu quickly? I saw a comment in the chat from Twisted Baba said Mainu anonymous. Bruv, you support Crystal Palace. Your whole squad's been anonymous this season. Don't talk about Mainu, bruv.
See, but
Stay in your lane.
Mainu was just very good. He was just very good today. Yes,
Exactly.
he didn't score. He didn't score a screamer, and yes, he didn't score. Like he didn't pull off an amazing assist.
Terry, he done his normal job.
Exactly.
He done his normal job.
Exactly.
Exposure on the ball for his age is just phenomenal.
He's ridiculous.